Look at this. Look at this, everyone. Look, like I can
Whoa,
move these legs.
Schmibbit.
Holy
Fuck.
shit!
I can jiggle the keys. Look at
He's
this.
fucking
Look at this.
speed. Oh my god.
Everyone paying attention yet? Everyone paying attention yet?
Hello, everybody. My name's Yuki. I'm a funny little Kamainu statue that was reincarnated after 100 years because stuff, and I was bored. But this is my talk show, Hungry for Knowledge, and we're doing something a little bit special this month. Something I like to call Monster Month, if you will. I know, real plain name. But today, we're talking to not bugs, Insectoids.
Insectoids.
I mean, I consider myself a bug.
You're both. Kliff can
Hello.
only pick one side.
Yeah, I don't get. Do I get to play both sides and come out on top?
I mean, if you want to, that's up to you. I'm not gonna discern what you are or aren't. I let that all be you. But I am here with two super cool insectoids, if you will. One being the legendary cryptid, or a lesser version of the legendary cryptid, if you will.
Okay. We're not quite at full power yet. We'll get there.
But I'll let them introduce themselves so that I don't try and steal the show too much. We'll let Kliff start.
Oh fuck. God, I hate being first. I can't believe you've done this to me. I'm not good with being first.
Do you want me to do it first?
Done this. I hadn't prepared anything. It sounds like you've prepared for so.
I
go ahead,
haven't,
Syraxis.
but I can.
No. That was the wrong answer. That's the wrong answer.
Okay, I suppose I'll start then, if Kliff's not going to do it. But hello, everybody. My name is Syraxis. I'm a centipede-themed VTuber. I'm fluffy, as you can probably tell. I'm a streamer. I do a lot of variety of stuff. Art streams, horror games are predominantly what I do, but I'll try whatever interests me, that kind of thing. I do also feel I should note that I did the art and rigging for my own model and continue to do so as I'm working out a V3 right now. Definitely not me just plugging myself at the moment, but hey.
That's what this section is for. This
Literally.
is the self-shield segment.
I mean, yeah. How dare I plug myself in the part where they say, "Okay, plug yourself"? Like, oh shit, should I? Like,
No, you're not
probably
allowed.
not. Okay, yeah, bad call on my end.
All right, now Kliff has to go. You have no excuse anymore.
That's okay. I'm gonna do my canned intro. Hello, hi, welcome. My name's Kliff. You can call me Kliff. I am your resident lesser Mothman VTuber. Again, very similar sort of thing going on here. We like horror games over on my end, but I mostly stream that or retro shooters and indie games. That's kind of like my bag. That's what I tend to get up to. Art streams once in a blue moon when I don't feel horribly conscious about things like that. And let's see. Recently, I hit 1,000 followers on Twitch, and I've got special stuff coming up next month. And this month, I am streaming almost exclusively Five Nights at Freddy's games.
Hey, I'm Beetle. I am a radioactive Beetle VTuber. I stream on Twitch mostly. Sometimes I stream on YouTube. Beeftlebug. I mostly stream Genshin Impact, but sometimes I draw, and I hope to do more streams later. I want to play Hello Kitty Island Adventure really bad.
So, we can hop into the questions now then, just to really make you worried. I'll start with Syraxis again.
Oh, okay.
You sent us the questions in advance, and I didn't. I made a point of not looking at them before the stream.
I read them over, and pretty on brand. I forgot them all, so.
So I literally only make it for myself. I always tell everybody that they can like write notes on it if that's what they need, but it's literally just to keep me from going on tangents. That's it. What was your first experiences with Insectoids, and what first made you interested in them / build your streaming persona around it? We'll start with Syraxis again.
So first experience. Do you mean like Does it have to be anything not involving like IRL, or is it just like online?
It can
kind of?
be media, life, whatever. Whenever the first time you saw a insectoid based creature or character.
So, I've had a fondness for like monster media for like probably my entire life. Because I'll say I was that dinosaur kid when I was young. You know, I
Yeah.
was like way into. I still am. Like you could probably ask me a couple questions about dinosaurs, and I could throw out some fucking facts for you. But I was really into dinosaurs when I was young. I wanted to be a paleontologist. That never panned out, obviously, as you can tell. But it kind of branched out into other stuff like fantasy stuff, like dragons and creatures and monsters, and like I developed a fascination for bugs probably like kind of early, like late elementary, middle school, something like that. And it's mostly because like bugs are fucking freaky shaped, you know? Like they're just really fascinating because there's a ton of them that have all sorts of different types of shapes and capabilities, and they're neat little fellas, you know?
Funny
Uh,
guys, if you will.
yeah, they're funny little fellas. But there's all sorts of stuff you can do with like a bug in regards to like creation, not what that might have sounded like I was saying for a moment there. I
Oh, so what you're saying is you were Ant Bully, like the movie Ant Bully.
oh no, I didn't bully. I wasn't like well. I'd be a lie if I say I'd never fried an ant. I have,
What
but
the fuck is wrong with you?
a lot probably.
Oh my
It's
god.
not like a
Okay,
thing
no,
I
I'm
do
sorry. That's a
now.
real like gut reaction thing to say. I've never thought about like getting a magnifying glass out and going to an anthill.
I was a little kid. And I didn't even know if it was real. I thought it was a fake thing, and then it happened. I was like, oh, that's real. That's not fake. Okay.
Damn, they dead now. What have I done?
Oh my god. What was the second part of that question?
So it was whatever your first experiences were and what made you interested in them slash build your streaming persona around it.
So, I guess what made me okay. I think I went with bug because this character I'm using for this was not originally like designed like a bug at all. They were actually from a comic series I used to work on for like the
Mhm.
site stuff. But like
Oh.
it's, my own character, I can do whatever I want with them. So I decided to change the design a little bit. And I'll be honest, I may have been a little inspired, might have had a little bit of a bias for a bug, considering some of the big bugs that I might like, that I might take inspiration from, i.e., the whole model making, doing your own kind of thing,
Mhm.
whatnot. But I went with centipede because I felt like one, centipedes are really underrated as just an animal in general. But two, I didn't know any other centipedes. I thought, you know what? There's probably not a ton of them. I might stand out if I pick centipede. That way, I also get to have a bunch of leggies. Like I could just line the whole body because I had a long body and they kind of made sense. Like long bug, centipede, that kind of thing. But
I mean, as far as I'm aware right now, I only know of two in existence, and you're one of two.
yeah, I only know four, and I'm one of them. Like
That's
so it's a
still
little,
that's
That's a
still a
gang.
very small amount.
that's a gang of
That is a
centipedes.
gang. That is a gang. You can do gang activity with 4 of you.
It's fair.
Is
We
that
could do
like the
crime.
plural for centipede is just gang?
Gang.
I actually don't know what the plural of a centipede group is. Like, I
I
don't know if
think
you'd still call it a
it's
swarm. I would love it if you called it like a leg of centipedes.
A leg of centipedes.
A
I
leg
don't know
of
what the name for it is.
I mean, they
I'm
could
down.
be crawling up your leg. No, just the plurals, just flat centipedes. But we're gonna say it's a leg of centipedes now.
I'm liking a leg of centipedes. That's good.
We have coined it now.
Yes,
It
science
has to be on
acknowledge it.
dictionary.com. Nope, confirmed.
Right. But yeah, I thought it'd be easy enough to implement centipede inspired design for this model at that point. But the fluff was always going to stay. I know that's not exactly like a usually what people think with bug, even though a lot of bugs are fluffy. That's just a thing.
Yeah,
Not centipedes though. But I
That's
thought,
very true.
of all the centipedes, there's not going to be a fluffy one. I'll be the only fluffy one.
exactly. You've got that cornered.
Are you still the only fluffy one?
I believe so. And if there are any other fluffy centipedes, I will find you.
Is that a threat?
And eat
Yes.
you.
Wow.
Awesome. All right. I will redirect the question to Kliff now
Oh
then.
no. Oh god, here we go. Right. Ask the question again, please. That's gone like through one ear and out the other.
What
You have
was
to do
your
this for everything. I'm just letting you know
I'm
now.
gonna
You're
I'm
gonna have to
gonna
ask both of us.
I'm gonna do what was your first experiences with insectoids or mothmen? I specifically put that there for you. And what first made you interested in them / build your streaming persona around it?
So okay. I've always been like cryptozoology has just like fascinated me for ages. And a lot of it comes from more sort of like British cryptids, local legends, because we have a lot, and not all of it's interesting. But we do have the Loch Ness monster,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty cool, and that was for a while. That was like a young fascination. What is it? Is it a diplodocus? Is it some sort of prehistoric beast? Because like
I'm sorry.
what? No, no, I'm gonna go ahead.
No, the Diplodocus, the dinosaur.
Fuck off. And you're not enunciating. Diplodocus? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Diplodocus.
Mhm.
You're not enunciating it properly. Diplodocus.
There's debate about it's your question. I'm not gonna go ahead. Go ahead.
So then I think I played through an SMT game. I cannot remember which one. And they have the Mothman in there.
Mm-hmm.
And very eclectic character. Just a funny little guy. Is what I'm going for with that. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm looking through SMG. I'm playing through these games. Oh, they've got a bunch of like, they've got cryptids in there. They've got all sorts of other parts of like folklore and interesting bits and bobs going on there. And that's kind of like where I got my digs and just got interested in like cryptozoology. And then from there, it's just been like, oh, okay, so we go and look at everything that's going on in West Virginia as this hot spot of cryptid activity, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff going on there. Most notably, the Mothman mythos in like Point Pleasant, West Virginia. There's a lot of local legend around there that stems from the 1960s.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty big.
66.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't just do research on it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
So, historically, for people who live in West Virginia, the collapse of the Silver Bridge and the mythos surrounding the Mothman has always been like a fascinating local legend, even if a lot of that can then be attributed to like failing social, social services, upkeep, etc. Which is where you get a lot of stuff, and it's like, okay, we go from Mothman, harbinger of destruction and tragedy, to what if it was a warning? And we do stuff like that. And I was just, I think I was like 13 or something, reading about this on the internet because I had like unlimited internet access from a young age. And I'm reading off at this. I'm like fascinated with it. It's like, I think that, there were people who really got into like Greek myths and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's me. Sorry.
I had cryptozoology brain instead. That's what I was doing.
Percy Jackson did it to me. I'll be honest.
No, Percy Jackson was the one that 100% got people.
Him officer was Percy Jackson.
I mean, Rick Riordan made a bunch of cool stuff, so I dweebed out at a young age.
So then one of the things that, the next part of that question is what made you choose your model and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's kind of like a long question because Mothman VTuber was my third choice. Which probably sounds really weird for me to say. So for like a lot of people, typically they have one idea, they work with it. But for me, I had two other ideas. And I've always been interested in kind of like occult activity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And part of that was, I think my first idea was I really liked the idea of, and a lot of these ended up being like flawed concepts I had to toss out for various reasons. But the first idea was, okay, what if I was a librarian who had like stumbled across some sort of like forbidden knowledge in a public library, and all of my fans and people were like coaxing me into becoming some sort of like vessel for an elder god or something, and I was like, not really working. That's too much of like a social element. I don't know if I can commit to that, so I completely
Yeah.
dropped that. But I was still on board with like, I need something supernatural. I need something spooky because I like stuff like that. So my second idea was, okay, and it was mainly inspired by a tabletop campaign I was playing at the time. I had a character who was a mannequin that I felt quite passionately about, and their main goal as a character was they were a acrobat at a local traveling circus. And after a freak accident in which they plummeted from a trapeze and just fucking died, their soul had drifted into a mannequin sitting backstage. And I like this, and that's where I kind of was like with the multiple arms thing idea, because I've always liked multiple limbs. That's always been a really cool thing I've liked. But then I was like, seems a bit weird, like having a VTuber avatar thing and their entire motivation is clout. And I was like, I don't really like that. That doesn't like gel well with me. So I was like, okay, what
Yeah.
else? Yeah, what else am I interested in? And I was like, well, I like cryptozoology, and I've not seen anyone do like a Mothman VTuber. And I was like, okay, this sounds good. And I typed this a little bit into some like backgrounds and backstories and lore, and I was like, okay, so there isn't much. People aren't like actively thinking about the Mothman as much, mainly due to various reasons where it might have been tried to explain away, and a lot of public perception of it is through choice artwork, should we say?
And maybe a
So
certain novel. There is a novel out there. Have you seen
perhaps
it?
I have. I do know what you're talking about. So I'm just like, okay. I think Anime Boy Mothman is actually a good angle for me to take with something like this. That's something I can do. It's something I can work with. If I ever do lore properly, that's kind of what I think I'm going to roll with. I haven't like quite finalized lore or anything I'm doing with stuff like that because I kind of like I don't really believe in lore.
That's fair.
A lot of it is just like tidbits or facts or things I might make up at the time. I have a because you know, I'm really big into like role playing, tabletop games, and stuff like that. So I do actually have a Kliff character sheet that I refer to every now and then, just to make sure that if I ever feel like this, you know, the character I'm portraying is drifting a bit, I go and refresh myself on it just to make sure that I've kept up with things, I guess. And for me, like getting starting with streaming was always like a very like on a whim sort of thing. I had a friend. Part of the other reason I then ended up going with cryptozoology was she was going to be a Tsuchinoko themed VTuber, and I was like, oh, that's great. If I go for a Western cryptid and you have an Eastern yokai and we collab stream together, that's some really cool contrast. She didn't end up streaming. Various things got in the way, so I was like, I still kind of want to do stuff because at that point I'd like drawn up a avatar for like PNG streaming. I'd made a background. I'd had everything going, and I kind of then just went with it. And a few things have changed. The biggest, am I allowed to like? Okay, so I'm a bit fuzzy too. Let's go with that. I feel like Syraxis knows where this might be going.
I think I do.
Okay,
I think I have an
have
idea.
I've can I show on stream? Am I gonna get in trouble?
Is it this?
It's the nude toggle, but it's Kendall anatomy, so I don't know if that's okay or not.
We're gonna put a no
Okay,
on
that's
this
fine.
one.
We're gonna go with no.
Just with this stream
Yeah,
at least,
that-
because I
that's
have
fine,
to
that's
edit
fine.
it down for YouTube.
That is
Are
perfectly
we
okay.
are we not allowed to be nude?
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
god.
that's a pretty good question.
Oh shit.
Oh, Syraxis, go put some pants on.
Just oh well, okay, it's not moving on your stream. Okay, I'm sliding down. God.
But I've got the bug parts. It's just really amusing because there is an. I know of two other because before this I didn't actually do any research into if there were because I'm like the worst person to have become a VTuber. Because,
Elaborate?
Before streaming, I didn't watch any streamers at all. Adjusting to kind of like the culture that existed on like Twitch and stuff like that has been really interesting.
Mm.
Hey, Kliff.
Hello.
Want to know something?
Is it same?
Same.
Nice, nice.
I didn't watch streams before I strained myself, honestly.
Yeah. No, that's the same. I think because I like the idea of being a VTuber purely on like the idea of more anonymity from traditional streaming and being able to like portray a character too. Right? As you know, you have a few people who are like I hate the word flesh tubers. That's like such a gross
Oh,
word.
I
It's-
love that word. That's my favorite word.
Can
Yeah.
we say like webcammers or something? I don't know. Just like
I'm going with I'm
real
gonna go
person.
traditional streamers, right?
That sounds a lot better than flesh
yeah.
tuber. Like it.
I don't like flesh tuber.
Flesh
no.
tuber is like a more derogatory term, if anything.
So
I
I've always-
use it more than I probably should.
Yeah.
It sounds a little like TOS, you know?
Yeah.
Like so for me, I've always kind of had this mentality of like, I don't really believe in like that like VTubers aren't a niche that needs to like stay contained within each other. Like content creation can capture all sorts of different things.
Right. It's
Um,
more of a medium.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a medium. We're not in a box. We're not just forced. Sure, we got maybe three VTubers meeting together to have this discussion, but that is not something that should limit us. And
Like, by
stuff
all
like that.
accounts, we could have had a traditional streamer come in here
Yes.
as well. Like
That would have been
that's-
awesome. I would
obviously,
really like that.
Cliff and I had no control over like the thing. But
Yeah.
it's more of just like, if you're talking about streaming in itself, you know.
So apologies, that's like an answer that's like a bit all over the place. Yeah, that's like the big catch-all of why I decided to go with Mothman VTuber.
My first experience with Insectoid characters was with Deep Sea Prisoner. They made games like Mogeko Castle and Water Nahara and the Great Blue Sea. They have a little side project that's like it's just a bunch of like insect characters. Like they have a scorpion character, they have a spider, they have a bee, they have beetles, they have moths. It's really cool. I really liked those characters, and that they kind of inspired me. They kind of inspired me into being a beetle in general, because they have like a rhinoceros beetle one, which I think is really cool. They also have like a Atlas beetle, which is the big ones with the big pinchers. I really enjoy them, and I just really like bugs in general. So it kind of fit to see like like little insect boy characters. I'm like, oh, I want to be that. I want to be that so bad.
So then the next question being, what do you believe makes your design or type of insect so unique?
So I think my design is not so unique. The beetle is not a very unique bug to be. I don't see many. I see a lot of bees and like moths and all that. So I haven't really seen many beetles, but I think the only thing that makes mine somewhat unique is being radioactive. And I'm also based off Sentai characters. My outfit at least is like Power Ranger type deal because I really love Sentai and I love the group Ryu Sentai from Odd Stars, and that's kind of what I based my design on. It's probably obvious if you've seen it or like played it, but I don't think it's the most unique design, unfortunately. I hope to in the future get like more arms, like little insect arms, even though that idea was taken. It's okay. I'll do it. I'll do it my own way. I'll do it my own way. Maybe get pinchers. I love some pinchers.
So, I before VTubing and all that kind of jazz, again, artist. I've been drawing like my entire life, but one thing I've been very passionate about for a long time is character design.
Mhm.
So, I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with designing a VTuber, considering its character and you have to design it. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm not even finished designing this one because like a lot of my designs just change over time.
Mhm.
Hence why my V3 is like changing design a little bit. There's already images of it online. Online, you can go to my Twitter and see it
Yeah.
if you want.
I've spied on it.
Wink nudge.
Yeah, I got a whole new chest going on, No, but if we're talking about what I think makes it unique, can I turn on the toggle for a moment? The one you said to turn off for a
Oh,
little
the
bit.
tail. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
So
lean
like,
back and just get whipped in the face.
so I have a lot of moving parts, and obviously I know they can't see it on the stream, but I have legs that go down. I have
Yeah.
movable legs, stuff like that. But like, obviously, arthropod kind of like chitinous arms and legs. I also feel like this helps stand out quite a bit. My coloration, a lot of white, a lot of black, a lot of gold, but like actual reflective gold. I've got actual
Yeah.
layers on here. Even my hair is gold, like the same kind of gold. But overall, I think one thing that really helps stand out, not even just for like VTubing, but this is the thing for just any kind of character design in general, is silhouettes. If you
Mm-hmm.
have a silhouette that if your entire character is blacked out or something, like if you had a PNG of them and you slapped a black layer on top of it so that there was no coloration or whatever, it's just their silhouette. If you can still like easily recognize who they are, that can help lend to a good design. Doesn't mean it always will. And there's more to it than that, like color choice and stuff like that. But having a solid, strong silhouette really helps having a standout design. I do feel that I should point it out. Like, that doesn't mean just slap a bunch of stuff on a character.
Oh,
Say
no, no, no,
cheese.
no, no.
Like, there has to be intent with the design. It can take a bit. Like when I design a character, I'll literally just there and start making shapes for stuff. Like,
Yeah.
all right, what kind of general shape do I want this character to have? And then you start kind of getting a little specific with like what's making that shape, or then like it just you got to be a little kind of have to know what you're doing. Like it sounds
Yeah.
dumb saying it like that, but
No,
it's
absolutely.
kind of the truth.
I mean, like color theory is always going to be important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like
And
that's
I mean, both of you guys' color schemes are colors that really kind of catch eyes right off the bat.
I mean,
I mean,
I'm a little
look,
gaudy. Like,
but that doesn't entirely matter, in my opinion, at least, because it's like, am I still, if I get 5 streamers like put up in front of me and like they have varying color schemes, but then I see like the actual like gaudy shimmering gold, if you will, like that's probably what's going to catch my eye first. If I see the red and green and yellow, that's probably going to catch my eye over gray, if you will. Like,
yeah,
I'm not going to say that my character design is well built for that scenario. I like to say that my content can speak volumes.
that's fair. That's fair. There's one more thing I want to say about the design.
Yeah.
What I think helps. I did very intentionally go white and gold, obviously, and I feel that most people, when they think white and gold, they think like angelic or paragon or whatever. You would think of it as like, oh, these are like good. Like you have like ideas attached to these colors, 'cause that's typically how they're used in like other media and content and whatnot. I liked the idea of taking something that you would think stands for like in traditional media, it's either good or orderly or whatever, and it's a monster instead. It's like I wouldn't say evil, but
Yeah.
like I'm a weird centipede monster thing. Like
practically
tying
demonic in nature.
it's like tying savagery to this kind of color scheme. I think taking those kinds of colors and altering what they mean is fun. I don't know if it makes the design better or anything, but I just like messing with it.
I mean, you also have. I'll pick this out since you didn't say it specifically, but you're sitting over here with RGB eyes and shit. So, I mean, that you got that working for you a little bit too.
I mean, right now I've only got the 2 toggles. I'm gonna have more. I'm gonna have actual RGB eyes when I'm done with the next model, but
Hell yeah. I want that
Hell
shit to have
yeah,
more
brother,
colors than
brother.
my keyboard. Yeah.
God.
Now we will turn the same question over to my pal on my left,
pal.
right.
Hello.
You're right. So
Left,
Cliff
right,
Hoff,
center.
what makes you better than me?
That is not what the question is. You're going off script. You're ruining this.
He's literally pulling a Charlie Day and screaming "wild card, bitch!" as I cut the brakes.
Yeah, I don't even think he gets us, man.
Oh god. Go ahead. Pose your question.
So, just the same question: what do you believe makes your design or type of Insectoids so unique?
I mean, the main thing for me is its silhouette. I took. You could see this a lot more on like the original artwork I'd drawn. Like when I had my first character sheet that I'd made, and I was like, "Look, here's what I've done." I was just a silhouette was the main thing, and I had themed it like very, 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 very heavily off of some of the like original Mothman depictions.
Mhm.
But I was like, okay, what can you do with that? Where if you take the silhouette of something that's like a lot of people know and a lot of people are like familiar with, can you twist that into another sort of design, right? And yes, you can, and that's what we've got like here, right? And that's what like makes me quite happy about my design. There's a few things I had to tweak, of course, to keep a more sort of humanoid design. But I was like, okay, big glowing red eyes are cool, but big glasses, sure, we can do that. That's a fun way to spin it. It ties into more of kind of like a professional sort of.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do like that the glasses are the stand-in for the big
Yes.
red glowing eyes.
Yeah,
I think
that
I think it's nice.
I thought that was particularly inspired. That was like my main thing I was quite happy with, and it's why when I moved from like my PNG avatar to having this live 2D model, I was like, I need bigger glasses. They
'Cause
have to be bigger.
That's the only like I feel like that's the only finite
Hmm.
110% detail that's shared with every single iteration of the Mothman or story of the
Yes.
Mothman is just
Just the big red
red eyes,
Mhm.
big wingspan. That's it. That's like
Yes.
all anybody can completely agree with.
The other thing I like picked from, which a lot of people talk about a lot, because there's this like, I guess I'm gonna go a misconception. Yeah, a lot of people think I am a bug because I'm like, oh, I'm a Mothman streamer. A lot of people are saying moth and they're thinking, bug. But a lot of depictions of the Mothman descriptions at the time describe a more sort of feathered wingspan.
Yep.
So I was like, I want to have feathered wings, which is how I ended up with this.
Which
And
is
I'm
very layered in comparison.
yes. There will be some sort of more changes and stuff to it in the future. The artist I'm working with, because I am a little bit too busy to sit down and learn how to do live 2D artwork, is still learning things too. We're sort of slowly but surely working together on things, and that's actually been quite a nice experience. But so you may notice gradient, right? A lot of gradient going on here. We have yellow fading to more of a teal. We have red to brown, and a lot of that is the design. And when I was coming up with just what my design would be, I knew what the design would be. The colors, not so much. And where you can see I've got gradient, that's mainly just because the original colors I had settled for were without the gradient. So I had a brown coat, I had big teal wings, and I was like, and I ran it by a friend, and she was like, that looks really boring. So I was like, okay. That's what can we do with that? And it was like, okay, we'll throw some yellow in. So then the hair got some yellow as well. And that's how I've got like the gradient going up the antenna. So I've got the gradient in like the hair. And it's like, okay, how do we make this dusty trench coat a bit more interesting? Okay, we'll add some red in there. And that works quite nicely because red is like the accent color overall for me, right? It's really weird because I ask a lot of people what they think about like my color scheme or what color they think of, and everyone says green, but to me, I'm like, I'm red.
I mean,
I feel like I'd say green because of how prominent the wings
Yeah,
are.
no, of course, and I
they're
think
big.
that's why a lot of people say it.
yeah.
The one thing I will say about the antenna that isn't actually based in anything. I just kind of liked it. It was one of those things where I was just like, I just like it. It's not based in anything. I just thought it was an interesting like look on things because I feel like when you have whenever anyone does a moth, a moth tuber, a moth design, it's always that very like that feathered kind of antenna look that is very common in a lot of common moths. But I do my best to kind of keep up with just like moth adjacent things. It is part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I'm above all else, I'm an insectoid monster, not a moth, which is like a difference. And I feel like you get bug-themed VTubers that then get grouped under the monster umbrella,
Mhm.
but that feels odd to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough.
I think it's like
because...
intent behind the design, right? Because I don't think bugs are like scary, and I think that's why a lot of people end up grouping like bug tubers in as being like monsters, right? Yeah,
Most people, I'll be honest,
Yeah.
cowards, afraid of bugs.
100%.
So
100%.
here's my tangent on that a little bit. I'll say
Go ahead.
is like the media side of bugs and insectoid monsters is like I feel like it relied really heavily on like the arachne side of things where like there was just a lot of spider girls and stuff like that. Now mind you, my brain runs off of anime and manga mostly, not really a lot of standard media, if you will. But like I even with Mothman, like he was never truly an insect. He was just
Well, that's the
called
thing,
Mothman because that's
it's a
the silhouette.
half man, half moth / winged creature hybrid.
Which we don't even know like.
Or like a lot of reports of like a man-sized bird.
Well, and like a lot of people said, because that was right around the same time that Batman was coming into popularity. A lot of people said it was they saw Batman. That was what happened. Oh my God, it's Batman, and
It's just Batman.
yeah, it was just
Mothman,
Batman the whole
Batman,
time.
Same thing.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
But like where we segue a little bit into like the idea of monster and insect intersecting is like characters. Have you guys seen Overlord? Who's seen the Overlord?
Yes. Hello.
So
Not.
one of my favorite characters in Overlord, her name is Entima. She's one of the battle maids. But she is so fucking cool because
yeah. She
the
wears a
duality
mask,
of her
right?
just
Is
like
that her?
yeah.
The right one?
I'm gonna put it in the chat and I'll put it on the VOD too. But like that's how she looks at first, but that's not what she actually looks like. Like that's just what
Yeah, no, I
they
like
did
what they
to
did
make
with
her cutesy, and then like when they actually showed what she really looks like this is where we get into Monster Girl.
There we go. There we go.
That's a monster. That's a monster.
I would
That's
be
not
inclined to
just
agree.
bug. So
Yeah, I feel like a lot of bug themed VTubers and I like get put into being monster VTubers just because they are bugs, not because they are scary.
It's
the scare. There's a scary
could-
threschhold.
I could tangent about this, but
I think we've talked this for hours.
oh,
It's-
the three of us all could, I can tell.
it's there's a gross misunderstanding of what constitutes a monster person,
Yes.
and people, I think, kind of are a little overzealous with defining what counts as a monster person.
Yeah.
I am on the page that if you can put on a tiara and 100% mimic this monster, not a monster person.
Nope.
Yeah.
I would argue that monster only I think the better, and this is not like a meant to be a derogatory term in any way, shape, or form, but monster appears more when you get into the spectrum of what like people would view as an abomination, if you will. I feel like is a better terminology.
It's you have to. I get what you
Yeah.
want at. It has to be almost like a. I don't want to say mimicry, but more of like a mockery of the human frame.
Yeah, like an amalgamation or an
and
oid, if you
there-
will.
There is a difference between just monster and monster person. There is a difference between the two.
Oh, most
Yes.
definitely.
And because like obviously a monster, like a just pure monster, isn't going to be human. Not going to be mistakable for that at all. Because there's going to be something very, very obviously different. A monster person is going to have elements of being a person. Like I would count myself as a monster person, not a monster.
Yes.
yet.
Because you have the
Well,
humanoid frame, the humanoid
Yeah.
face. Like,
yeah, vaguely humanoid shaped body, even if there are some, different. I did integrate
Liberties.
legs and stuff, but I have a human face for now. For now. That has the ability to change later. But again, there's a lot of other features that I would say make this delve into being a monster person. Like obviously, the whole fur covering, the chitinous arms and legs, the legs running down the back. Like human almost just stops at basic shape and face. That's where it stops.
mhm.
And I've seen a number of other people. Obviously, not gonna name anybody, but I've
Yeah.
seen a number of other people who just like define themselves as a monster person, and they just have like you have trouble finding what the monster parts are,
Yes.
and it's just
Lamia.
some people-
Calling out Lamia VTubers.
Oh my god.
oh my god. I mean,
Hot take corner. Time to mark it up.
well, like some people forget kimono mimi's a thing. Just having
Yeah.
animal feet. I'm just saying, having a fox tail and fox ears does not make you a monster person. Like,
I
I'm not trying to call you out either, man. I'm just.
I don't have a fox tail though.
What kind of tail is it?
What is that?
I'm a Kamainu.
Oh, you're a dog, right?
Yeah, I'm a lion
Got
dog.
that
That's why I-
dog in him.
That's why my
Got that dog
ears.
in him.
That's why my ears don't look like. Cause like you see a dog character and they have like the floppy ears or like the sharp like German Shepherd ear kind of thing. Like, no, mine are the combination of two things. Come on, don't bully me. I'll cry.
Don't pull me out.
No, inappropriate.
I belong in prison.
Somebody bonk this guy right now.
On.
Let's beat this man with hammers.
Mr.
I-
Electric, kill him.
I am the only mod. That means I have to do it myself. Shit.
God.
So we'll hop on to the next question because I can tell the three of us are really good at tangents.
I have
Oh, I-
accidentally just chatted 3 hours before.
Oh,
I-
I
yeah,
watched
no,
you do it
I'm-
for like an hour and a half the other day.
I'm trying to
very
cut down on it.
punctual.
No, that's we're gonna tangent again for a second and then I'm gonna redirect us, but like that's the beauty of a good streamer is if you can just like sit there, or a good entertainer rather, I should say. If you can sit in a corner for 3 hours and both be entertained and have 5 people entertained in front of you, then that is literally you being a talented entertainer. So
This
I
sounds
just
like you're really.
talking.
I was gonna say this sounds like you're really good at being grounded. Like if you can sit in a corner, right, and
yeah,
for hours be entertained. I'm so fucking good at being grounded.
I'm so good at being put in the corner with the timeout doll.
Little
Oh,
shame
God.
corner.
So now I'm gonna redirect us this time.
Oh, God.
What is your favorite insectoid, or if you can't think of specifically an insectoid, any monster character in myth or media?
So my favorite Insectoid characters is also from the Deep Sea Prisoner, Odia. He is a praying mantis. I think he is so cool. I like his design. He kind of looks like a grasshopper more than a praying mantis, but I still really like his design. I also like their scorpion. His name is Score, very original. But he's got like a giant scorpion tail and he's like all emo looking. I think he's so cool. They're two of like my favorite insectoid characters. I also like the giant centipede in Japanese mythology. I did forget its name, so that's my bad. But he's like a giant centipede that lives in the mountains. It's really cool. I love centipedes. Centipedes are like one of my other favorite animals, and I think that if I were not a beetle, I would definitely be a centipede.
Brain is immediately going to the depiction of the Mothman, particularly in Fallout 76, which I definitely feel like has done a lot in actually like putting that forwards for like public consciousness, right?
I was gonna ask you what your opinion was, and you did it for me. Thank you.
And it's a great design. It's really good.
I freaking
a really
love the
solid one, yeah.
Fallout Mothman because like
Yes.
it's such a good combination, and
It's
it
such a good. It's a great take. It's a great take on an old classic.
and it like it really builds into the universe that they've built too,
Yeah.
because it's all these irradiated creatures becoming amalgamations, if you will, of things.
Aside from the Flatwoods monster, which we don't talk about because that one personally makes me very sad that they don't. Oh, it's actually an alien. It's like that's such a boring cop out.
Did they cop that out?
Yeah.
I play Fallout
Yeah.
76 every day, and I must not have been paying attention. I know I
Yeah,
have
no,
problems.
the Flatwoods monster is literally just an alien.
Oh,
like
I was thinking of the
Base Zeta
Grafton
people.
monster. Oh my god, I'm a
No.
moron. Why did my brain go to Grafton monster?
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that was
I'm a
just
little bit upset with that, even if I do think the idea of like retro sci-fi themed, like bubblehead spaceman Flatwoods monster is a very cultured idea. I think for Fallout it's just a bit boring to go, oh, they're a Zetan warrior.
that was just their way of getting the Zetans into the game, I feel like.
Yeah.
Which is kind of icky, and I agree in it being very mid, because like the design they built around it, until you do like what a lot of the lore people have done, where they like actually put the camera inside the body and you can actually just see a little Zayton inside of a
Yes.
suit. Like they legitimately built an iteration of what the Flatwoods monster was supposed to look like, and then just said, "Oh yeah, but it's actually just an alien in a suit."
And it's so lame, and I'm really annoyed by it.
And like, even I know this isn't a perfect world either, but even if they just like made it a different alien and not used it to just build Zetans in there, like, don't they just built off of their existing characters instead of creating a new character. Which I
Yep.
will keep you up to date on how good the Jersey Devil looks when it comes out, because it should
I'm
be coming out
curious to-
in
yeah,
2
'cause
months.
They have been like repeatedly teasing that, and I want to see what they do with it. And
So if I open up the beta testing server, I'm pretty sure I can get into the so this is me tangenting, and I'll probably cut it
That's
out
okay.
or whatever. But
I wanna hear
I'm a dork when it comes to Fallout. I enjoy Fallout 76, even though everybody else hates it. But they actually put up the public testing server for the Atlantic City expedition, and they found the Jersey Devils. The guy that I watch, he found them, but they aren't even implemented into the existing expedition. So they're actually going to be their own storyline that's going to come out after it comes out. And they have like this whole chem called the Devil's Blood and stuff that they're selling over in Atlantic City. It actually seems pretty cool if they can flesh it out right. But I'll stop nerding out for a second.
I'm glad they're doing something with that. But yeah, no, I just big Mothman fan. I like that we're seeing renewed and lots of different designs around it. I still think I like the SMT Mothman design. It's fun. It's
oh
good.
yeah,
It's
he's
silly.
so funny.
He's actually just a dude. Of course you have blue hair and pronouns, dipshit.
Wow.
Oh god, love that dude.
He's a funny little fella. Just
Actually,
that
a
whole
fun little fella.
series, I think, has really done a good job in taking characters and myths and stuff and just
It's
making
why
them
I'm a
super
little-
cool.
That's why I'm a little bit upset with the last like Soul Hackers game.
Yeah.
I wish it was more internet brain poisoning. It didn't have okay, look. They didn't do anything interesting. We got what was it? Digital Devil Saga, we had Chemtrail, which is like American zeitgeist manifest, and that's awesome. And I'm glad they did that. And then they didn't do anything like that again. And they've not brought Terminator back, and they've not brought a whole bunch of other interesting like characters. But I'm I feel like,
I'm gonna get
Yeah.
you on a tangent too. I can
yeah, that's
tell.
okay. That's okay. I can see myself tangenting. Hey, Syraxis, you should answer the question.
Your turn now.
Okay. What's the question?
What is your favorite insectoid, or if you can't specifically think of an insectoid, a monster in myth or media?
Can I go with two?
That's fine.
Mhm.
So probably the pinnacle of what I'm thinking is my favorite. It's not really an insectoid. You can kind of see it once I say it, but like
Yeah.
my favorite monster kind of is the xenomorph from Alien.
Yes,
It's just such a good design. Fucking Geiger knocked it out of the
he
park with
really
that one.
did.
He really did. But I say pseudo insectoid, but that's mostly because of a I don't want to say chitinous outside, but they're
Yeah.
biosynthetic. They have a weird mixture of what appears to be machinery but organic material, which I could tangent about alien lore, but I'm not going to do that. I'm more just going to talk about the overall design stuff like that.
I'm
'Cause
gonna pick
I'll
your
be
brain about Prometheus later.
God. I talked about that with a friend last night in VR chat for 4 hours. So listen, I'm fucking ready. But I will say that Alien has actually kind of like helped inspire my version 3, especially like mostly like the torso area. There are certain areas where like I kind of put in some like features, details, or like shapes that are honestly kind of inspired by Alien because I just really like how their bodies look. That's not like a sexual thing.
No,
Kind
just
of is,
the
but it's also not like.
the structure
I
of
know
it
what
is
you
a
are.
really cool concept. I agree entirely.
So like they're just design wise one of my favorite things. But like if we're talking like more just insectoid, like bug themed people, stuff like that, I'm about to name drop someone here if we're all okay with that. You could probably both of
Oh
you
my
probably know who
god,
this
I'm
owns.
so upset as you can see.
Yeah. I'm so upset that I'm about to mention a name that comes up on like every other fucking stream I do. It's fine.
Mhm.
But I'm a big fan of Juniper in case anyone can't really tell, but kind of am. Spoilers. I know that's probably shocking for most of you. But
It I don't
just
blame you. I just no disrespect whatsoever. I wish I could type in bug themed VTuber or insectoid VTuber
and
and
have
not
not Juniper
have
come up.
her be the first thing that comes up. Love
I
you, Juniper, but why'd you have to corner the market so well? Or not even corner the
Vixen?
market per se. I would say just the internet only decides to recognize one thing for one word.
Right. I mean, I have some theories as to why that is. Me and Kliff are both lacking both of those things, but
Yeah, but
Mhm.
that's neither here nor there.
yeah. But
Okay, no, that just clipped. Yeah, we're not having
Yeah.
that discussion.
Yeah, I know
We
exactly.
are not having that discussion.
I know
right.
This
I know that's why I'm like
exactly where
being
you're
vague
going.
about it, and I'm gonna move on.
You can have
But
the most like the least guilty conscience. You can say the most like, you know, correct stuff with that. Someone's getting upset. It's
Right.
never a good conversation.
Right. But I was gonna say, like, I don't know if anyone's seen like the latest design she's done, like the more the creature based
Mhm.
models, but I'm a big fucking fan of those. But she
That
just got good
that's
designs.
that's the big thing too is like I want that to be popularized more. Like I just showed you my favorite instance. Like I want concepts like that, like eldritch horror,
Right.
the really creepier side of things to be emphasized more less than and again no disrespect than just like the sexy spider lady if you will.
Right. No, I
Because
same man, but I'm living on the page of be the change you want to see.
yeah,
Hence,
exactly.
some of the in case anyone doesn't know on that new model coming up, there's gonna be some toggles that are not so say so, but that's not like a
Hi,
particular
I'm
myth or
like
horror thing.
metaphysically high-fiving you on this. I think like the era of sexy bugmen is soon to be upon us.
I mean,
Me and
and
Syraxis are leading a charge here.
that's the thing too is like sexy and attractive are subjective words and
Yeah.
like the idea of like someone having like the face like Entoma, something like that versus something where like it's just lewd BS. I could go for days about that too.
Right.
I just want
I'm
I
on a
want the
page of, like,
spooky to be attractive.
like I'm on a page of like I'm gonna let people do their thing, as long as I can just do my own thing. and I would prefer to be the change that I would want to see.
Exactly. And that's the best thing that you can do is instead of just not to say you're complaining about it, but instead
I'll
of
complain about
just sitting here and complaining about it being a thing, like actually actively taking action, becoming this creature, becoming this
No, I wanna be a monster.
exactly. You want to be the actual monster and I'm thriving for it.
I know
Would
that
love
it doesn't
to see
seem
it.
like I am. Model's still not done, everyone, but when it is, then
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 you'll
it's over
see.
for y'all.
He's just gonna eat you. That's what's
I
gonna
might.
happen.
I might.
Oh my god. I was not prepared for that. Vor. Actually, that's not even Vor. That's just.
Oh, it's jam. That was
Oh yeah,
jam.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yum.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yep, yep,
That was jam.
yep. Boysenberry. What?
You're talking to two horror VTubers. We're gonna have blood toggles.
Yep. That's
I
right. That was a
know.
given.
I need to start getting into the spookier side of shit. I'm a baby back bitch, but I
That's
love getting
fun.
scared. I love getting scared so much, but I don't like involve myself in horror so much. Like I am very much the kind of person that like watches people talk about like really dark movies, but personally, I probably couldn't stomach watching the whole thing. And that's just because I don't like gore, but gore is very prominent
I
in
do feel there's
horror.
a difference between like disturbing imagery and horror. Like
Mhm.
Yes.
being
100%.
scary and then like just being gory are
Yeah.
different things. Like
I
you
just
could
like getting
disturb a lot of
spooked.
people, but scaring them is different.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next question because I can see myself tangenting even. So the next one is good for both of you, I think, too. What
Ooh.
is one type of insectoid you haven't seen in? Apparently, I erased a V. In VTubing or media that you would like to see more of.
Speaking of my favorite insectoid characters, I haven't seen a centipede or like a praying mantis. I think that those would be really cool. I think you could do a lot with like the praying mantis like arms if you have like the 2D tracking for it because they're all big and gangly and like they hover over stuff. And I think that that would be cool. And also centipede. It might be hard to do because having that many arms is kind of crazy, but I think it would still be really cool to see.
I have thoughts on this. Do you need time, Cliff?
If you've got an answer, go ahead.
Mantises. Where are they?
I know of at least
off the top of
one.
my head. Yeah,
I
off the
know
top
of
my head,
at least one.
Or is there one? Because like I
Yeah,
haven't
no,
seen any.
she does.
How?
No, she does ASMR content, and it's a lot of her just eating things and
Oh.
making mantis noises, and it's amazing.
I was gonna say like
Her name's
of
Alice.
all the bugs, right? Think of a bug, right?
Mhm.
Think of the coolest bugs. Would a praying mantis not be like almost top of that list, right?
Yep.
Where are they?
Yeah.
Like I have found more centipedes than I've seen mantises. And like I don't know if it's like skill issue side but I haven't. Do you have any idea how many bugs I know? I know so many bugs. I know so many. I know moths, plenty of moths. I know other centipedes. I've seen so many other beetles, but like mantises are just it's barren. It's barren. I would have thought I would have been plagued by mantises, but like this is just a thing people don't capitalize on. They're so cool, and no one's doing anything with them. I say
I've
there's apparently
dropped you a
one.
link. I've
Thank
dropped
you.
you a link.
Thank you.
Syraxis.
I
That
just
way I can
found
stop being
like
so
3.
mad about it. What?
I don't know. This is not very like spooky, but I just found someone that I wasn't aware of before that apparently is a mantis. I don't know. I haven't dug into their content at all to see much, but I see at least 3. One of them is the one that Kliff said, but
There you go. I got her name wrong, but yeah, we found the same one.
So 3 mantises exist. That's still far lower than I anticipated.
What is one type that you haven't seen in VTubing and media that you want to see more of, Kliff?
Can I extend this to being monsters as well?
Hit me with
As you
both.
Okay, so monsters. I alluded to it earlier. For a while, I've been like rallying behind the idea of just someone needs to be a fucking Flatwoods monster VTuber. We need that in the world, and
Someone
I've
has
been
to bear that cross, yeah.
yeah, someone has to do it. For ages, I've been saying someone has to do it. We need a retro sci-fi, great big spacey bubble helmet, possibly Genki alien girl, Flatwoods monster VTuber. That doesn't exist. I've not found it. Someone on Booth made a very convincing like Flatwoods monster as depicted by Mythos, like VTuber model. But that's all I've seen. That is all I've seen, and that upsets me. That's like another just it's part of cryptozoology I'm just interested in as well because they do have a similar sort of setup of like, hey, we have some cool stuff you can visit. We have a lot of local regional culture based around it, and it's like that's cool, and I like that. Insects is a harder one, on the other hand, because I don't know much about bugs.
That's fair.
I'm not particularly like bug brained. So, insect. That's oh god, it's so hard. It's such a hard one because I just don't know much about bugs. I think
Say
the one thing
dragonfly.
Dragonfly.
Yeah, say
That's
dragonfly.
that's true.
Yeah,
I've never
okay, you
seen
know,
one of
if-
them.
Dragonfly, like Sentai themed Dragonfly VTuber, make it happen.
I feel like
Bro,
that'd actually be like not a bad one. Like if you made it like if you went like a play on words like dragonfly even.
Yeah, no, exactly.
know, like a bug
But-
themed dragon
Yeah.
maybe.
you're just tangenting into something that I'm working on next month, and this is so funny.
like, I'm a very.
You okay?
I feel like
We broke him.
Oh.
I just feel bad. Like, I'm the worst person to ask about bugs because I don't know much about bugs.
That's fair.
I was.
I mean, again, you're not a bug. You're a
yeah,
mothman.
this is. I think this is like the thing that like this is the.
That's
big
the tough
distinction, right?
thing, yeah.
Hmm.
Is like I actually debated adapting this to a cryptid stream.
Oh, I see.
Because I had Kliff first for a while, and then I was reaching out to other people, but it was just a slow response. So I was trying to like come up with backup plans,
Yeah.
and I was like digging. I'm like, I don't know, fucking a Wendigo. Nobody like actually like wholeheartedly pulls off the
Yeah.
Wendigo. There is one that's a PNG tuber, and no disrespect to people with PNGs, it's just harder to work on a talk show like this
Yeah.
when people are only PNGs.
Yeah.
It's easier when I have like you guys wiggling around all over the place in the corners because it keeps people's attention.
No, so
Look at this. Look at this, everyone. Look like I
whoa,
can move these legs
Schmooper.
around.
Holy
Come on.
shit!
I can jiggle the keys. Look at
He's
this.
fucking
Look at this.
speed. Oh my god.
Everyone paying attention yet? Everyone paying attention yet?
One of the things I did come across recently, which really warmed my heart, was a like Fresno Nightcrawler PNG tuber.
I saw the one you were talking about the other day, actually. 'cause-
Drubly.
Yeah, they were cool.
I've just I love Pantsman so much. Pantsman is my favorite cryptid.
So then we're gonna hop on to our last question, which is not necessarily about bugs. This is
Okay.
just the October question, if you will, which is, what is your scariest experience or legend that you've heard around your area? This is how I get to learn about more folklore and then research it and fucking deep dive.
So I don't actually have like many personal experiences. I lived in like 100-year-old house. So I got like my mom tells me stories about like she saw like whenever they first moved into the house, like the house hasn't been lived in a while, so there's like a layer of dust. Um but she saw children's like handprints, and apparently a child had died like on the street, like right in front of the street, like got hit by a car. So that's kind of spooky. We also have a legend near where I live. I can't say the actual name of what it's called because that would dox the hell out of me. But it's like a bridge, and you drive past the bridge and there's like a girl that's supposed to be there, a little ghosty girl, and once you pick her up, she'll tell you to take her home, like take her to her parents' house. And you drive, and you get to there, and she's gone. And I think that's really cool. It's just like literally about like 10 minutes away from where I live. So I think that that's cool. We also have like a spot where grass doesn't grow. And apparently it is where the devil like walks in a circle or something. And if you put something inside the circle overnight, it'll be gone. And anything that, and they say that if you like stay in the circle, you get transported to hell or something. But I don't really know. I haven't heard anybody really like going inside of it and camping in it. Like that, people like to do that, but I haven't heard what happens after their experiences. I kind of want to go myself. I think it'd be cool, but I'm very superstitious, so it would probably scare the shit out of me. Also, I'm not a camper.
By
Okay, this-
scary experience, do you mean like spooky or like traumatic?
Like, oh my god, a ghost whipped a baseball at my head, like that kind of thing. Like the paranormal, if you will.
Okay.
I have one.
Oh, he sounds ready this
Oh
time.
my god,
Yeah, no,
Cliff's
I'm
first.
actually ready.
Yeah.
I'm actually
He's
ready
like,
with this
Cliff's
one.
like, I want to go first. It's like,
So I was in the Boy Scouts. Part of
It-
that was. Wait, sorry.
So-
Okay, no.
supernatural, not traumatic.
I'm not gonna lie. I quite enjoyed my time with it. I had a good time in the Boy Scouts. But one of these was they'd occasionally send us away to like adventure camps and things, and we'd go and do stuff, and there would be activities there. And one of the there was a activity period or whatever. Like, look, there's 4 different things you can do right now. Raise your hand if you want to do this. And one of the things that really had my eye was tunneling. Crawling around underground in tight spaces, right?
Yeah,
Why-
I thought you were talking about Dead by Daylight for some reason. Go ahead.
Fuck's sake, Syraxis. So it's me, a friend, a group leader, and the guy who's actually like leading the tunneling, right?
Mhm.
So we go tunneling. We get under the ground. It's it's tight. It's spooky. That's not like put me off too much. More recently, I have come around to be like very like claustrophobic around the whole like caving tunneling thing, especially if you know anything about the Nutty Putty cave. Which
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get over the name.
no, the Nutty Putty cave is
Okay, so I heard you right. All right.
yes, no, it is in fact called that. It does make me laugh a lot every single time.
Did people go
Um,
there and like make deposits? Is that what it is?
No, I think it's so small that it's gonna make your nuts into putty.
Some guy got trapped down there and died 26 hours later because he was suspended upside down, and they had to close the entire thing. And there was a massive national like rescue effort to try and free this one guy. It's like one of the worst things ever. But that's beside the point. Caving is horrible. People who subject themselves to that are like genuinely something. I'll be honest. I don't try to shame people too much, but there's actually something wrong with you if you derive pleasure from caving.
I'm extremely claustrophobic, so I would
yeah,
just presume that to be torture.
I cannot imagine wanting to subject yourself to not only breathing lower quality air, being stuck underground at a constant risk of just dying at any moment.
Yeah, fucking underwater caving though. Like, oh my god.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's even scarier because
Yeah,
like
people die a lot from that.
Yeah.
oxygen is very short supply sometimes.
So we've been underground for about like 10, 20 minutes. It's not even like too deep underground. It's just a little tunnel that they've made that goes around this like rectangular set of ground, right? And we just hear yelling, and everyone stops. And we're just like, who was that? And they're just like, Kliff, was that you? It's like, no, it wasn't me. They ask my friend. It's like, he's like, no, it wasn't me. It was very distinctively a young voice that sounded like yelling. And none of us could put a finger on where it came from, but it definitely sounded like it was underground. And it was frightening. That kind of like, at that point, me and my friend were just kind of like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is kind of fucking scary. And that's kind of sat with me because no one could figure out what that was. No one knew what it was. No one could put a finger on where the yelling came from. And yeah, that something was going on there.
Do you remember what it said, or did you just
It was just
hear
yelling,
it?
like
It
just
was just
screaming.
like
Noise.
Yeah,
like that kind of thing. Oh,
yeah.
now this is just to creep me out even more. Was this cave near a forest?
It was. Yes, it's all
I
in,
don't
like,
fuck
wooded
with
area.
forests. I don't fuck
Yeah,
with forests.
okay,
Nope.
that's fair.
Nope.
That's understandable. Demons too tend to like forests quite a lot.
Everything likes forests because they can hide in there. You
It's true.
never know what the fuck is in the forest at night.
I like
That's
forests quite a
that's
lot.
I mean-
that's the one thing growing up in the country taught me, and that's you never know what the fuck's in that forest.
You at least know one thing in the forest. That's you.
Yes.
And possibly something else. What was that?
And hopefully you have something to defend yourself from the other thing that's in the forest.
So yeah, that's like that's one of the, like, scariest, I'd say, like, experiences I've ever had. I think it was a combination of like being underground in like a sort of small little hollowed out cave area, and the fact that no one could pinpoint it. And I was kind of young. I think I was like 11, maybe 12 at the time. I wasn't particularly old, but it was just like no one felt comfortable after that. It was very odd.
Syraxis, what is your scariest experience?
If we're talking supernatural, I have something.
Hell
Okay.
yeah, let's hear it.
I was probably about 16. I was still in high school, living with my parents, that kind of thing. And we had a house, right? We lived in a house that we were renting because we moved a lot.
Mhm.
And this house we hadn't lived in for very long. The underside of this house was hollow. A lot of this house was like hollow because it was like slightly elevated off the ground. So you could hear footsteps very, very easily in this house. Like, it was hard to sneak around. Not that I was doing that, but it was happening. But I remember I was home alone. Well, no, but not alone. My brother was with me at the house. He was in his room, and the house was very long. It was almost like a hall, the entire house. So the way to the bedrooms was down a hall, So there's only one way there. Again, hollow portion, footsteps, easily hearable. This is important to note. I was in the kitchen. I was making, I think, I was frying eggs or something. And I was frying them, and I hear some plop, 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 pop, pop, like footsteps coming down from the bedrooms. I assume it's my brother because he's the only one here at the house with me, right?
Mhm.
Right.
It wasn't your brother.
So there's like two doors to the kitchen. It has like an open section and then like a door to it, like a glass door thing. That door is open. And I hear this, the stepping. It's kind of loud, not normally that loud. And I'm not looking over, but the stepping gets to the door, walks by. It's not my brother.
Oh, I
The
hate
footsteps
that.
stop. The footsteps stop the moment they go to the other side of the door. And I'm like chill goes down my spine. I feel every hair on me stand. Because it was not my brother. I did not know what it was. Because first thought is someone else is in my house. It's a home intruder. That was not a person that walked by.
Oh,
It was
God.
tall. It was tall, kind of gangly, and it was it had like normal human skin, but it was not a person. I did not get a good look at it because it walked by. It was out of my peripheral, but it was I had apparently some sort of auditory and uh, visual hallucination. Yeah, because again, stopped the moment it went by the door. My dumbass would have died in the horror movie that this would have been based on, but I went over there to look. There's
Did you
nothing
do the
over
little
there.
corner peek, or did you fully go out there?
I fully looked because I'm because if I peek, I'm dead anyways, right? It doesn't matter. Just fucking go big into it. Pretend you're not afraid. Maybe it'll get frightened. maybe he won't call my bluff.
Syraxis was knocking on the cellar door and going, "Hello,
Hello?
is it
Are you
somebody
down
there?"
there?
I didn't say anything. I just walked over and looked what the fuck? I didn't say anything. I just looked over. There was nothing over there. And nothing walked by. There was nothing. And I look around what the what? And then I call it for my brother because I'm maybe I'm dumb and that was him, He comes out from his room back the opposite way where there was no way he could have walked by without me noticing. All the way back to his room. That's where he comes out from.
Yeah.
Unless
So
he knows the secret passages.
yeah, the secret tunnel leading from the floor to his room in like 3 seconds. Like no, but
That's
he comes out of his
terrifying.
room. He comes out of his room, and I ask, "Did you see or hear anything? Like, was there? Do you have someone over? Like, he doesn't know people. He never had friends over, so it sounds mean, but that's the truth."
Yeah,
And he's like,
that's
"No."
fair.
He's like, "There's no, and like, there's nobody else here. It's not supposed to be here." I'm like, "Can you stay out here with me for a moment? I saw something, and I am a little nervous to be out here by myself."
That
And
is understandable.
I didn't see or hear anything for the rest of the day. The rest of the day. So, at
God.
night, right? This is worse. But like at night, I was going to sleep, right? Trying to go to sleep, trying to go to sleep,
Hmm.
and again, my room is on a part of the house that's hollow. It's very easy to hear footsteps. I'm going to sleep, and kind of dark in my room, but like computer or stuff like that. I've some amount of ambient light where I can actually kind of like if I wanted to get up and like go take a piss, I don't have to trip over stuff pretty much. I
Yeah.
can kind of see,
Mm.
and I hear stomp, 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 stomp in my room, getting closer to my bed. Like
I
it's
hate
loud.
this.
It is heavy, heavy, like almost like boots or something. Like and for I'm like actually scared at this moment. I'm like, oh my, like what am I? Because I don't see anything. There's nothing there, but I'm hearing stomping, and then I just kind of reflexively just say stop. Like I say stop, and whatever it was stopped, and I was like stunned. I'm like, I can't believe that worked. I didn't know what that was, and
You
then I never
managed to
heard anything again.
vanquish the demon with
So
ease.
here's where like I get into the wackiness, and everyone can dispute me, and I'm sure they will every time. But there's only one thing in ghost hunting that I've ever fully agreed in, and that was something that Ed Warren said. Yes, I know Ed Warren is a scam, but they did say that the reason that they believed that Annabelle was as haunted as she was is because they fed into the haunting. So, i.e., that thing's doing this to me, that thing's pissing me off.
Right.
So, the direct counter to that being one of two things. I don't believe you're there, so you're not feeding into it, you're not quote unquote giving it power. Or number two, they're technically in your space now. So you're corporeal, they're not. You say, no, you're not allowed to fuck with me. What are they going to
He's
do
just
about it?
jealous. Jealous I'm
Like,
still alive.
legitimately, anytime that I've had air quotes poltergeist shit happen in my room, like, I get shit thrown off my shelves sometimes. I've talked about it before. I always just try and debunk it as, oh, somebody slammed the door super hard, so my figure fell over or something like that. I'm very much the kind of person that wants to debunk everything.
Mm.
But like at the same time, just precautionary. If it gets too bad, I just kind of look over and I'd be like, yeah, you can't do that, so stop doing that.
You
And
do
it
that again,
doesn't
I'm
happen.
casting fireball.
Yeah,
I'm
magic
thinking
missile.
a lot. I'm thinking a lot about that one video of the couple that's like yelling at this like skeleton Halloween toy that's supposedly haunted.
Um,
If you've seen that,
I haven't. I want to.
oh god,
That sounds fun.
it's a
But
very funny video. It's just that they're just like, it needs to get out of here, get that out of here, and the skeleton's just going overdrive.
there's a
Going
certain level.
overdrive.
There's a certain
You just
level
what I
of
mean.
like people being like ridiculous and acting, and a certain level of just like I'm gonna scream at this thing for 10 minutes and exercise it versus no, you're not allowed to do that in my space kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I like to think that if there is a level of paranormality, the response to it would be no, you're not allowed to do that.
That's such a great line. I'm gonna start saying that now.
Legitimately, every time that I've ever had something happen, I legitimately just say stop or you're not allowed to do that and it doesn't happen again.
You go up to the ghost like, who asked?
Hit him with a,
Like,
and that's
Yeah.
a no from me. That's a no from me, champ.
it's a no from
Literally.
me.
Like this is an absolute joke, but that's why I feel like Shane Madej is one of the best ghost hunters out there because he can just sit there and say, "Nope, you're not real." So that makes you not real, and that's why I get no evidence.
I'll say that I personally I don't believe in any ghost anything, nothing like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain what happened to me. Again, I'm gonna kind of think that I had some sort of weird auditory and visual hallucination
Yeah.
that I don't know how happened. It's some sort of anomaly, and I can't explain it. I'm not gonna say therefore ghosts. I just can't explain it.
My debunking brain would go to uh exactly what you said is it's this is a weird tangent, but like it's kind of the same effect as like some of the debunking videos I watch. People see like apparitions on their Ring doorbell camera, but it's actually just they have a really shitty doorbell
Yeah,
camera and
some
it's
kind of, like,
not filling in the
artifacting and-
pixels and stuff. Like
Yeah, I
that-
hate stuff like that where it's very clearly like
that's
you don't
kind
see
of
it.
how I feel what our brain does too sometimes. It's like, oh, this is weird. Like, why is this happening? Oh, it sounds like somebody's in front of me, but I don't see anything. So my brain just kind of fills in the blanks, if you will. Especially
Your brain
as
fills in
like
the blanks, and then I fill the space with bullets with my gun.
especially as like a teenager, not to say that you were immature at that time, but like all of us are maturing at that point in our lives. So
yeah.
Yeah.
we kind of are more apt to head to the fantasy side rather than the reality side with some of our disillusions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume like a wizard was fucking with me or something.
It was a wizard.
Yeah.
It
Wizards,
was
yeah.
his name
You
was
heard it here
Steven.
first.
Steven the Wizard.
Syraxis believes more in wizards than ghosts.
I mean, I kind of do, unironically.
Well, I feel like it'd be easier for a
Oh
wizard
my
to hide
God.
from us than a ghost, yeah?
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean,
They,
it's magic.
That's-
they got the invisibility cloak and shit.
God, you know,
I'm
there's a
not.
great,
I'm not entertaining this discussion.
no, it's too late. Because I have an excellent idea that I've always wanted to see come to fruition.
Okay.
And I want a horror movie based on a wizard. And I mean, like, just like the most wizard kind of wizard there is. Like, purple cloak with the stars, wand, big beard, and a hat. But,
Yeah,
like, he lives
beard
out in
down
the
to
woods
their
somewhere.
toes too.
Yeah. Like I want a horror movie based on that. Like, that wizard is, like, the antagonist, you know? Like, he kills the teenagers by casting fireball and lightning bolt and shit like that. Like a slasher film, but it's a fucking wizard. I think it wouldn't be scary at all, probably, but, like...
I would actually
want it
go
for the
so
funny.
far as to like make it so that it's like the guy points the wand, says fireball, but throws a Molotov instead.
He's just,
So it's like,
plot
oh my
twist,
god,
he's
it's
just,
the wizard.
He's
Nope.
just a guy.
plot twist. He's just homeless.
Yeah, I
He's
got
just a
power
guy
word kill,
chucking
and it's a gun.
Molotov. But he just puts his hand like low enough so that you only see the wand. So he's got his gun like I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands right now. I don't have hand tracking.
Yeah.
I could try, but my hands aren't move enough.
But he's got like the wand above the gun. And he's just got like the gun hidden in his cloak a little bit. So he's
The
just
wand
like
is taped. It's taped to it.
yeah, just wand taped to the top of the gun. Power word kill. Bang.
Power word kill.
That's like such an
God.
OP spell too. Holy shit.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I cast power word kill on the dragon. Oh, it failed its save. Oh, it's dead now.
Perform a saving roll against power word kill.
Oh my gosh. All right. Is there anything that you guys want to plug as we wrap up?
Yeah.
You gonna plug yourself?
Oh my god.
I know. I've got a fun, like, this month has been fun. I've been playing every Five Nights at Freddy's game, and that has been fun. But next month is like double fun because it is my 1 year streaming anniversary.
Yeah.
Nice.
and I can't share specifics yet, but I will be sharing details about what's going to be going on with that very soon. And it's also quite nice as I managed to hit like 1K followers, and I can just bundle it all together, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Into one big thing. You don't have to do 2 separate celebrations.
Big
Yes.
celebration.
Yeah, so
Big
I'm kind of
ol'
like
one.
I'm going all out with it. You can use context clues or come to your own conclusions about what you think that may include, but it will be a lot of fun, and I'm excited for it. And that is November 15th. Hooray!
Yeah. November
Yeah.
15th. Everybody remember
November
right now.
15th.
Put it on your calendar or else I'll
That's the
beat you
plan.
up.
Wow.
If they don't put it on their calendar, I'll beat them up. Do you have anything, Syraxis, even if it's just whatever you're planning on doing next week?
I'll plug myself. Yeah, I can do
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, follow me. There we go. That's that
There
last
you
bit.
go.
that. Oh yeah,
Shilling.
that's right. That's right.
We love to see the
And
shilling.
also follow Syraxis too. He's nice.
Yeah. Sometimes. Not a lot, but sometimes.
I
But,
think it's a
yeah,
lot.
I'll plug myself. Again, name is Syraxis. I stream about 3 days a week usually. If you happen to enjoy art and like spooky stuff, I've been doing spooky stuff all this month and will continue to do so. I'm planning something for Halloween. I totally already have it planned, and I'm not still trying to come up with anything for it.
Oh no.
And yeah, I'm hoping.
Oh, do you
I'm
have a
hoping.
totally planned Halloween stream as well?
Oh, totally.
Dude,
planned.
high five. Same.
Yeah. Yep. God. No, but I'm hoping by the end of the year, maybe I might have the new model done. Since again, I do all my own art and rigging. That's a big thing to be able to do on your own. I'm just saying.
I
Just
mean,
saying, you have to be
I'll make sure I hit the retweet as soon as I see the day that Syraxis puts down a date. But definitely keep an eye out because both of these
Mhm.
boys are cool as hell. I've hung out in their chats a little bit.
You have been
I'm
quite
a chronic
active
lurker.
and nice viewer. It's been quite lovely to see you
I
around.
am
Yeah.
a chronic fucking lurker, so I am so sorry to the people that I like chat up on here and then I disappear. But I'm actually there. I don't know how to socialize.
We never mind a lurker. You are
That's
more
fair.
than welcome to lurk.
But yeah, they're both super cool. Check them out. If I'm lucky enough, I'd love to hang with them again.
Same. It's been nice having you.
I'm
Yeah.
going to. This is not looking great right now. I have 3 VODs to edit. I'm gonna try and have them all edited
You will
down
be okay,
by
I'm
the
sure.
31st. I'm crossing my fingers that I can get
Good
3
luck.
hour-and-a-half video are just done and edited by Halloween. Next week we are possibly going to tangent on my original plan. Because unfortunately, all of the haunted dolls that I could find and that I reached out to, other than one friend, have not responded, unfortunately. So we may just
Hang on. Do you need a haunted doll VTuber?
I already DM'd them. I already know who you're gonna say.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, hang on. Okay, cool beans. I can further that message along if you would wish me to.
I'd rather let it be natural, if you will.
No worries.
So if
Pressure them.
if they don't respond by the end of the weekend, then I am going to just do some local lore with my friend Kai Karumba.
That sounds nice.
Because Kai knows a lot of stuff. Kai is over in Germany? I always forget.
Oh gosh.
Somewhere over there. And they know a lot of local legends and stuff, so I can totally bounce off of some nerdy, spooky stuff with them still too, even if we don't get more dolls. Austria, that's where it is. My brain just like
A little
says Europe and just knows all of Europe as like 3 places.
Austria. That's
yeah,
it.
you have France,
Yeah.
London, and Germany. That's it. That's it.
There we go. That's all there is. That's all that matters. That's all we want.
There's so much over there. I'm just so bad at remembering. I was never good at geography. But anyways,
Still not good at it.
Make sure to follow 2 of the boys. They should be right up in the stream title.
We
hopefully.
are in the stream title. Yes.
Awesome. So make sure to follow.
House.
What?
Oh shit.
what?
He's in my walls.
Yeah, we can't leave now.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh no.
I just go out the way I came. There's a hole in there somewhere.
Uh-oh. How'd that get there? Is that where all the stink bugs are coming in from?
Oh,
Jesus.
no, I chewed a hole there.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming by. Thank you everybody
No.
for hanging
Yeah, it was fun.
out.
A problem. It's been lovely. I quite like doing stuff like this. Like just being able to talk about things.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor to be here with my fellow insectoids. Sorry I couldn't be here in the flesh in the moment. But check me out whenever. I don't know when my next stream is going to be, but you can follow me on Twitter at Beetlebug. You can also follow me on Twitch, which is also Beetlebug. Hopefully will be streaming OnStars soon if OnStars comes out to PC as soon as I think it will. If not, catch me for a Genshin stream probably. Bye.
But I'll
Amazing.
see y'all next time. I ran out of
Bye,
time.
everybody.